I'm a sucker for these. And respect to Andy Bailey. He's a fiend for these. Respect going out there and making a trade. Going out there and making a trade for each team is not easy. Everyone's going to shit on you. So I respect it. One trade every team would make if the deadline was before the 25-26 season. Interesting concept. No in-season trades. You have to do all of your work before the season starts. The Hawks trade Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, Ricochet, Asa Newell, and 2 first-round picks for Giannis. Wow. So what would your team even be at that point? You'd have Trey, Dyson Daniels, Giannis. Who's playing center at that point? Who is their backup big in Atlanta? Oh, KP. Oh, wow. Wow. I smashed no if I'm Bucks. Honestly, though, if you are going to trade Giannis, this is probably one of the absolute best packages you can get if you're Milwaukee. Jalen Johnson, right off the rip, is like more interesting as a player and as a younger prospect, younger player that maybe you can build around more in the future than like any other mock trade I've seen. Like I'd rather have Jalen Johnson than Cat. And obviously Cat's a better player right now than Jalen Johnson, but Cat's older. And I'm trying to like win right now with Cat. But then you add Okongwu and Ricochet and Asa Newell and 2 picks. That's really not bad. I feel like that's a no if I'm Atlanta, right? Like that's where exactly does that put me? Where is that team winning? You're like your entire future is gone. Now KP apparently has fully recovered from his mystery illness. Celtics, Anthony Simons and a 2031 second round pick for Yusuf Nurkic. It's hilarious going from this to that. Why would the Jazz do this? I'm just imagining how hilarious that guard room would be in Utah. London Hoops with the $9.99. Love-hate relationship as a fan with Luka, and low-key was open to a trade for a haul in 23-24 when he came back fat at the All-Star break because I was tired of the cycle, but Stan's hating on Cooper Flag is so cruel and bitter. Yeah, I was never really in on a Luka trade at any point, really. But I have my frustrations with him too, man. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, I hate, and it was always going to happen inevitably. But yeah, the Flag, people shitting on Flag already. It is what it is. It was always going to happen. I will say the one thing that I don't like is like people who 4 or 5 months ago, or I guess 8 months ago, were Mavs fans, like turning on Kyrie now and being nasty to Kyrie. I cannot get behind. That I just really can't. To me, and I gotta be real with you, to me, my antenna perks up. My ears perk up when I see that shit. I gotta look at you a little strange. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm wondering what your motives are. I'm looking at you, I'm side-eyeing you a little bit. Anyways, would the Celtics do this? They have no centers, really. Anthony Simons and a 2031 second for Yusuf Nurkic. I probably would be more open to this than Celtics fans would. I'm just really not in on Anthony Simons. Nets, Michael Porter Jr. for Jeremy Grant and a top 5 protected 2031 first. I'd want the protections off of that pick. Because, yeah, Jeremy Grant's contract is dog shit. Michael Porter Jr. is better than Jeremy Grant. That'd be interesting for Portland. I want the protections gone, though. Because then I could have a 2031 unprotected Denver and Because that pick that they traded, the Denver trade was 2031, wasn't it? I get a 2031 unprotected Denver and Portland first? Okay. Hornets, Miles Bridges for Tobias Harris and lottery protected 2031 first round pick. It just feels gross trading Miles Bridges anywhere. Like, no fan base will be happy about that. Miles Bridges is a Detroit guy, isn't he? Or at least a Michigan guy. I actually kind of like this for Detroit. I mean, it gives the Hornets a first. Again, the lottery protected stuff, like, this is kind of interesting for Detroit. But in a way though, Tobias Harris is really good for them because he does just kind of play like a vet. And I do think he had like an underappreciated season last year across the league because it's just easy to make fun of and laugh at Tobias Harris at this point in time. Bulls trade Vucevic and a lottery protected first round pick for Kuminga. Okay. I feel like if I were a Bulls fan, this would fucking make me so angry. Like, to go from, wasn't it a few years ago there were reports that like teams were offering real stuff for Vucevic and they were saying no? To go from that to like now I'm also attaching a first round pick to get in the Kuminga business, and now I'm like kind of pigeonholing myself into paying him a lot of money. Yeah. I don't think I would love that at all. If Golden State decided, if we get to like January and Golden State's like, man, we need like an actual bigger center. This league is so big and we're trotting out like Draymond and Horford. We're so fucking small. We need a bigger guy and we still want to have that floor spacing. Vucevic does make sense on their team. Also, a good passer. Like I could see something like this happening with Kuminga. Bulls GM might be the dumbest person. Yeah, they are up there. Cavaliers. Oh, this is okay. Jared Allen for Obi Toppin, Bid Shepherd, and a protected 2029 first. Okay. There's some Ben Shepherd believers out there. I just don't get why you would do this. This feels like a next summer thing. Like you disappointed in the playoffs again, and now we want to shake things up. This doesn't feel like this makes them worse. Sure, they get a pick in 2029, but that pick's probably not going to be very good. This feels like, this is a slam dunk. No pun intended for the Pacers. This would be a great trade for them. Mavericks, here we go. Caleb Martin, a 2030 second round pick for Kyle Anderson. Okay. This is like that Alex Jones picture. The before and after pick. Can't quite say I see how Kyle Anderson fits on this team, really. Is his contract like a year shorter? Maybe that's the only way I'm like, all right. Because Caleb Martin's got this year, next year, and a player option. Yeah, you got 2 years left, so 1 year shorter. You'd much rather have Obi Toppin than Jared Allen? Oh, no. I kind of see where he's coming from, actually. Because Kyle Anderson is a good playmaker. But like the Mavs already kind of have a guy like this off the bench in Najee Marshall, who could, in theory, like be a backup point guard off the bench, who also doesn't really shoot well. Like, we don't need another one of those guys. Caleb Martin actually provides you something, assuming he's healthy, with like, all right, this guy can at least defend a little bit. Denver Nuggets, Zeke Naji, and a 2031 first-round pick swap for Ayo Dosunmu. That would be fucking great for Denver. What was the MPJ trade then? Did they give a 2032 pick? Yeah, that would be remarkable for Denver. What? Yeah, 2032 first round pick. Okay. You think this is a win-win for both? 6 years. Conceivably, Jokic could be retired by that point. Okay. Yeah, that's not the worst. That's actually not the worst. Pistons, Tobias Harris, Jaden Ivey, Bobby Klintman, 2030 first round pick, and a top 5 protected 2032 pick for Lowry. Man, people love mocking Lowry to the Pistons, huh? Oh yeah, that's right. That's true. There's nobody's going to be in the 2032 draft. We have learned that. Yeah, I can't. I'm out the Kuminga business. Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously, this is like a. Hey, if the trade deadline was tomorrow, what are some trades that could happen? I do think it would be a great fit. I mean, look how good beef stew is, right? Like Lowry could slot into that and be a better version of that for Detroit. Like that could be a great fit. If I'm Detroit, I do want to see, like, let's not rush to too many conclusions here. I want to see Ivy with Cade. I think that's a backcourt that could work really well. So let me just play that out before we make any huge conclusions. Now, the thing that does suck is you have to make a decision on Ivy. I think he's extension eligible next summer, right? Jonathan Kuminga for Corey Kispert and a 2030 first round pick. Oh, so they get their pick back. Why do the Wizards have that? Was that? No way that was involved in the Chris Paul trade, right? Was it? 2030 first round pick? Was that for Chris Paul? Surely not. Yeah, the Pistons did get Karis LeVert. Why have I seen this? I've seen this multiple times. Kispert for Kuminga. I actually kind of don't hate. I know I've said I'm at the Kuminga business, but I actually kind of don't hate this for Washington. It's not the worst. They've already taken a shot at Cam Whitmore. You know, Kuminga playing next to like Sarr. You could imagine a lineup: Sarr, Kuminga, Coulibaly, Keyshawn. Like you could have some like great athletes out there. I actually don't. I don't hate that really. Yeah, I'd have to imagine a 2030 first round pick from Golden State probably would be pretty good. Especially, I don't know if you guys saw, but Pod said he wants to have the franchise in his hands by the time Steph retires. So 2031 was from Chris Paul. Wow. In my mind, that trade was 10 years ago. Why is Jalen Brunson on the screen? It's just funny to go from like Caleb Martin for Kyle Anderson to this. Okay. Bucks get Fred VanVleet. This is for the Rockets, mind you. Bucks get Fred VanVleet, Josh Hart, Reed Shepherd, 28 first, 2030 first in 4 seconds. That is nowhere near enough. That is a really bad return for Giannis. That's not even worth doing. The Knicks get Giannis and the Rockets get Brunson. I mean, from the Rockets' perspective, this is a clear yes, right? You're basically trading Reed Shepherd and 2 firsts for Brunson. Easy yes. So the Knicks would then roll out Giannis, Mikal, OG, Mitchell Robinson. No, the Knicks say no. The Knicks aren't trading Brunson, man. Come on. That's their guy. That's their guy. I like it, though. Hey, I like it. I like him going out there like this. It's a hilarious trade. It's just this article is funny to me. Caleb Martin for Kyle Anderson. Oh, okay. It like lulls you to sleep. And then it's like the Rockets get Jalen Brunson. It's like, what? Pacers. Obi Toppin, Benedict Mathurin, 2030 first round pick, 2025 top 5 pick for Trey Murphy. So 2 picks, Obi Toppin and Ben Math for Trey Murphy. That feels expensive, man. Is Trey Murphy really worth all this? Some of the Trey Murphy mock trades I see are nuts. And I'm like, really? Is this what it's going to cost to get him? I actually think this is a good point here where it's like, we don't want to do the restricted free agency run around with Benedict Mathurin and Trey Murphy's already under contract. I mean, I could see Trey Murphy being unbelievable next to Tyrese Halliburton. Don't get me wrong. But what is this? Year 3 for Benedict Mathurin or year 4? Are we already year 4 with him? Man, time fucking flies by, man. Year 4. God. Bogdan and Derek Jones Jr. for DeMar. Oh, what a Kings trade this would be, huh? I just don't. What does getting DeMar do for me? Yeah, this is it. You light my fire. You light my fire. Just such a lateral move for the Kings. And then on top, like, is DeMar's contract even that bad? Wasn't it only like a 3-year deal at the time? I just don't know. At this point, I don't know what DeMar's just such a weird player to have on your team at this point in time. Lakers, here we go. Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Maxi Kleber, Dalton Connect, 2026 first round pick, 2028 pick swap, and 2032 first round pick for Larry Markkinen. Wow. I mean, that is a lot. That right there is all of your assets. That's horrible for the Lakers. That right there is all of your assets, basically putting yourself in Lowry and Luka as our future. Lowry and Luka is our future. When in reality, you could just keep Reeves. LeBron, hey, maybe this is it. Whether that means retirement at the end of the year or he goes somewhere else next year. This is it for LeBron. We're going to have some money to spend. Let's have Luka, Reeves, and then whatever we want to do next offseason, whether that's a trade or a free agent push, and that's our group. I'd rather that than this. I know they're not guaranteed to keep Reeves, but I'm willing to bet you almost anything they do. Like, Reeves leaving in free agency would be fucking surprising. Hilarious, but surprising. Yeah, this would be bad, I think, for them. Not even to mention the whole, like, well, I mean, feels like a bigger haul than the Mavs got for Luka. Like, I mean, I got to throw that one in there. Oh, here we go. Grizzlies, Ja Morant. Let's see this. Ja Morant for Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez, Kasparis Jakuchonis, and 2 first-round picks. Man, Ja Morant's value is this low. This guy was an MVP candidate 2 or 3 years ago. I'd do it if I were Memphis. Well, Rozier's a god-awful contract. Jaime Jaquez is who he is, like 8th, 9th guy. Kasparis, who knows? He's looked pretty good this preseason. Heat fans are very excited for him. A couple picks. I mean, if you want out of the Ja Morant business, then okay. I like it for Miami, I think. You guys think this is pretty good for Memphis? Interesting. I guess Memphis is the same with like, and they're not that comparable. I guess they're somewhat comparable. The Zion thing with the Pelicans is like, if my return for Zion is pennies on the dollar, I might as well just fucking keep him. Like, that's how I kind of feel with Ja if I'm Memphis, is it's like, all right, his value's starting to get a little bit lower. Even if teams are like, hey, can we maybe buy low on Ja Morant? No, I'm not letting you buy low for Ja Morant. Like, I might as well just keep him. Here, I speak of the devil. Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez, Kasparis Yakuchonis, 2026 first round pick, 2028 first round pick, 2030 first round pick, 2032 first round pick for Zion. Wow. I mean, that feels like a fucking disaster in the making for Miami. Dude, if you're the Pelicans and the Miami Heat offered you this tomorrow, you have to take it, right? Like, you have to say yes to that. If I were a Pelicans fan and it came out that I turned this down, I'd be furious. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot for Zion. Unless the Miami's like, we can fix him. We will fix him. Pelicans and Zion to Pakistan for that package. Do we think, like, you think Zion... Okay, so this is actually brings up an interesting point because these two are back-to-back. Do you think Zion has this much more value? What is it, 3 more picks? This much more value than Ja Morant? I think it actually... In my mind, I would say the opposite. I think Ja Morant probably has more value than Zion, right? Or are we like that low? Is Khalil Ware legit, by the way? Did you guys see the shit against Wemby? Yeah, he was fantastic last preseason, too. I remember he had his flashes last year. He's a talented player. Zion is way better when he plays and is in shape. I mean, the guy never fucking plays a game. Zion does have a lot of optimism. That's true. Here we go. Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma, a lottery protected 2031 first round pick swap for Colin Sexton. Yeah, Giannis, go ahead and call it in, bro. Go ahead and call it in, man. Just... No one would blame you, brother. No one would blame you. Colin Sexton, Pat Connaughton, and 3 second-round picks for Julius Randle. Gross. No. Why on earth would Minnesota do this? It's impossible to find an exciting trade for Minnesota Timberwolves right now. It's hard to even find something reasonable. And I got to be... Andy Bailey wrote this, right? Like, props for making this article. It's very difficult to do something like this. Yeah, this is... I mean, dude, do we have a short memory? Like, Julius Randle was massively important for them last year. They're trying to win now. Fuck that. Pelicans, Herb Jones, Jeremiah Fears, Micah Peavy, and a 2031 first-round pick for Derek White. Yeah, but, like, why would they do that? Yo, if you're the Celtics and the Pelicans call you tomorrow and offer this, you have to say yes to this, right? Yeah, I mean, you're saying yes, even if, like, I don't even care if Jaylen Brown and Tatum get mad. You're like, yo, Herb Jones on a fantastic contract. Jeremiah Fears, top 10 pick. And I get a 2031 first round pick from the Pelicans? Like, what? I would say, why would the Pels do this? But you never know. Derek, okay, so like, what would the Pelicans team be? Derek White. DeJounte Murray reunion. Derek White. Trey Murphy, Zion. Are they going to start Yves Missy this year? I mean, that team's just not good. I mean, that team's not good enough to do something like this. I'd get it if they were like much closer, but they're not good enough. Here's the Giannis trade to the Knicks. Giannis for Cat, the day, 2028 first, 2030 first, 2032 first, 7 second-round picks. That's just not good. And the only way this is like somewhat okay is if I'm Milwaukee and I know there's another team that wants Cat and I can flip them immediately. Otherwise, like, these trades are terrible in my opinion. Oh, here we go. Giannis for Hartenstein, Dort, Houston 2026 first, so that pick will be terrible. Mavs 2028 first, that pick will be terrible. 2030 first from Thunder, that will be horrible. 2032 first round pick from the Thunder, that'll also be terrible. That's a terrible return. I mean, that's awful. That's awful. You know, maybe I can flip Hartenstein for a first. Maybe I can flip Dort for a first or two. Like, you probably almost certainly could do that. But if I'm making a deal with the Thunder, bro, you're giving me Clippers picks. You're giving me, like, whatever. If I'm trading Giannis to the Thunder, and I don't think the Thunder would even do this, but if I'm trading Giannis to the Thunder, you're giving me all of your good picks. I don't want the fucking Rockets 2026 first. Like, fuck that. Keep that pick. I'm not even entirely sure I want the Mavs 2028 first anymore with Flag in the picture, but I could see teams maybe like, you know, if AD's gone by then, like, yeah, that team might not be great. Okay. I need the Clippers pick. I need any of your good picks. Fuck the 2026 Rockets first. That pick sucks. 8 second rounders. I do love that he includes that. Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, 2029 first round pick swap, 2031 first round pick swap, and a 2032 first round pick swap for Trey. So 3 swaps. Trey's just not a Magic player at all. The idea is kind of fun. Trey, Bane, Franz, Paolo, Wendell Carter Jr. That's pretty good. Like, that's a good team. But that's your team. After your trade for Bane in this trade, like, that is your team. You're locked in. How could they even afford this? How could they? Because then you'd have to pay Trey. Is that even possible for them? With Bane, Franz, and Paolo all making the money they make? We do have some Magic fans that linger, that loiter around. We also have some Hawks fans that loiter around. The thing, okay, the reason why I would say probably no to this is that's a lot to give up for Trey. I'm a big believer in Trey. So if I'm the Hawks and I want to trade him, yeah, this is like what I'm demanding. So I get that. Okay, so I'm giving all that up to pay Trey, and then if I'm giving all that up to pay Trey, to get Trey in a trade, I'm then, you know, I'm setting myself up to pay him because I'm not going to give up this much to not pay the guy. But I think the thing is with Paolo and Franz hopefully taking steps forward, you have Bane now. Like, I would want a more toned down Trey, where he's more of like a floor general, get us into our offense. And then if that's what I'm doing, then I just gave up way too much for him. Does that make sense? It kind of, it makes like a trade makes more sense to me if it's like, you know, I'm like, I need a star. I need another star. Shortest backcourt wingspan in NBA history. Magic on that point forward angle. And that's another thing too, Javi. I don't think people are fully grasping this. The league is moving. It's changing in front of us. We see this happen from time to time. The league is changing. So these teams like, well, they don't have guards. They don't have guards. Teams are moving away from like, we have to have like a traditional smaller point guard on the team, on the roster. Like, teams are moving away from that. Obviously you have your great guys that, yeah, those guys will play no matter what. But teams are moving away from that. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'll take maybe a little step back in the playmaking department if it means my lineup can just be bigger and I can just have like my forwards bring the ball up and stuff. It's actually a reason why, like, when the Fred VanVleet injury happened, I do think it caps it. I do think it hits their championship ceiling a little bit, hurts it a little bit, right? But as we've gotten closer and I've, you know, looked at these teams more, like, I'm still pretty fucking high on the Rockets, actually. They don't have that traditional like point guard anymore, but they've got a lot of guys who can handle the ball and do stuff with. Sixers. Oh. Huh. Joel Embiid for Vucevic, Zach Collins, and Noah Asonge in 1 first. Wow. Oh, that's just tough to read. Yeah, I mean, if this were 2K, fuck yeah. Get me out the Embiid business. Get me out of it. I get Vucevic expiring, Zach Collins expiring. Some people love Asonge and a future first from the Bulls. So, why exactly is Chicago doing this? And we can make fun of Chicago, but this isn't even something they would do, I don't think. This trade is sad to look at. It's just yeah, I actually can see how this would make sense. It's just insane that this is where we are with Embiid. Grayson Allen and a top 11 protected 2026 first round pick for Kuminga. So it was reported the Suns wanted Kuminga. Yo, honestly, I mean, I'm just so out on Kuminga. Honestly, I would do this if I were the Warriors. I would do this. I would do this in a heartbeat, I think. And I actually, this one actually makes some sense. I actually see a world where this makes sense for the Suns, honestly. The Suns are a team where I'm yeah, it might make sense to have Kuminga. Trailblazers, Jeremy Grant, and 2 second-round picks for Kyle Kuzma and Andre Jackson Jr. Oh, God. Kuzma makes 10 million less and has his contract expires sooner. Why the fuck would Milwaukee do this? So Milwaukee just gets more expensive. Remember when Jeremy Grant was all the rage with NBA nerds? Oh, I would have suckered. Well, the 5-year contract was absurd. But a few summers ago, I would have suckered my way into Jeremy Grant, I think. DeMar DeRozan and a 2026 second-round pick for Anthony Simons. I don't think Boston would do that. I don't think they want that added extra year. See, DeMar's strange. Surprised that they don't have a Kuminga trade for the Kings. Oh, here we go. Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, 2028, 2030, 2032 first-round pick for Giannis. Yeah, so, I mean, just right off the bat, if the Spurs have an actual realistic pathway to get Giannis, they should do it. Absolutely. That front court would be maybe one of the greatest ever assembled. So let's just start there. If I'm the Bucks, Castle's cool and everything. Castle to me will just probably be more of a complimentary piece to his career and I think he'll be a really good player to have on your team. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he'll ever be a blue chip type guy. I need Harper, man. You want Giannis? I gotta get Harper. I have to have him. And you know what? You can keep some of your picks. I need Harper. If you really like those guards, it's a good deal. Yeah, I mean, if the Bucks love Castle, you guys know my relationship with Devin Vassell. By the way, I'd fucking jump off of an overpass if this trade happened. It'd be kind of cool as an NBA fan, but as a Mavericks fan, I would jump off a fucking building. This would be horrible. RJ Barrett, Jakob Poeltl, Ochai Agbaji, and a 2030 first-round pick for Embiid. Oh, man. These Embiid trades. Well, if Philly wanted to just get rid of him, this isn't half bad. This actually is not half bad if you're Philly and you want to get off of Embiid. So the Raptors team would be Quickly, Scotty, Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram, and Embiid. Yo, if you got a healthy Embiid season, that's not that bad. Honestly, if the Raptors just had a meeting and they're like, dude, fuck this, fuck being like a 6 seed. If Embiid's healthy, like the Sixers just called us and they offered this. If Embiid's healthy, like that group could make a real legitimate push in the Eastern Conference. And if he's not healthy, then fuck it, we won't be good anyways. Am I crazy for thinking that? Quickly, Scotty, BI, Embiid. That's not a half bad squad. This is kind of interesting. You're already super expensive. The hell? Oh, I thought this was going to be a Wemby trade. All right, Utah Jazz. We've seen Lowry's name a bit in here. Lowry for Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, 2026 first round pick, 28 first round pick, 30 first round pick, 31 pick swap. God damn, is Lowry's market that big? Surely not, right? I don't think there's any way a team is giving up this much for Lauri Markkanen. Maybe before he signed the contract and was playing like that. Yeah, Lowry and Wemby would be a really good front court too. The player-wise, Vassell and Harrison Barnes, yeah, for sure. I'd do that if I'm the Spurs. It would just be like, do I want to give up that many picks? Used to be just Kleba. Yeah, it did. That was a swing and a miss. I think this could be that's because Danny's blackmailing you to those picks. That'd be funny if that was factored into the equation here. And Wizards, CJ McCollum for Kyle Kuzma. Oh my God. CJ McCollum for Kyle Kuzma, Andre Jackson Jr., and a top 5 protected 2032 pick swap. Giannis, just request it, man. Nobody would be upset at you. Okay? Nobody will be upset at you. Everyone would understand. If the season, all right, so the idea behind this was if the deadline was before the season, but let's just say the season started and CJ looks pretty good and the Wizards were open to doing this in like January, this actually does make some sense. But yeah, Kuzma going back to the Wizards would be fucking hilarious.